the Traveler by Ibn Naqib al-Masri, which is translated by Sheikh Muhammad Khalid. But I summarize it. A lot of things that I removed because this is only a short period of time that we are discussing these laws. So we are going only to discuss the things which are important in fasting. So number one I place here is pertaining to the conditions on the obligation that you are fasting. So he said here fasting Ramadan is obligatory. Number one, for every Muslim, meaning fasting is not compulsory upon non-Muslim, and we Muslims cannot enforce non-Muslims to fast. Even if they fast, their fasting will not be valid. Number two, that a person has reached puberty. When a person has reached puberty, fasting becomes compulsory. For children who has not reached puberty, if they have reached 7 years of age, it is compulsory upon the parents to command them to fast. The compulsion is upon the parents. And when they have reached 10 years of age, the parents can, beat them with a beating that does not injure them. If they have reached 10 years of age. 10 years. But the thing about fasting is that you cannot force in a way that if the children does not have the ability to fast, then you cannot force them. It is different pertaining to prayers. Prayers you can, because prayers is easy. Just 4 rakah, 2 rakah, 3 rakah. But fasting we are talking about abstaining from food and drink, from Fajr all the way until sunset. So some children might not have the ability. So we cannot be forcing them to fast. And this is something also important for us to take note. Because some children they will hate their parents because of this. Because of the difficulties that they have gone through when their parents force them to fast, when they are unable to do so. So we have to look at the capacity of our children. Some children, mashallah, healthy, they are able to fast. Some children, they are not able to fast, even though they have reached 10 years of age. So we have to look at the situation. Number three is that the person is sane. The meaning here is, he is not a person who is mad or insane. A person, he is sane, meaning mentally conscious. Number four is capable of bearing the fast. Has the ability to fast. If a person does not have the ability to fast, then fasting is not compulsory upon him. A lot of people ask this question. That a person is sick and he is asking whether should I fast or I do not fast. How do you ascertain? What type of sickness that is able for a person to break that is permissible for a person to break his fast, and what are the sickness that is not permissible for a person to break his fast? This is important for us to understand the definition. So the definition is this. If you look at the books of fiqh, our scholars mention that every sickness of tayammum makes breaking of fast permissible. Every sickness of tayammum makes breaking of fast permissible. So this is the definition. Sickness of tayammum. What is the meaning of sickness of tayammum? Sickness of tayammum, there are three main parts. Number one, it is a sickness that can cost you your life. Meaning, if you fast, you will die. And you go to the doctor, Muslim doctor, and you ask the doctor, is it okay if I fast based on my conditions and of my health? The person who knows best is the doctor and not ourselves. Sometimes we find that we are healthy, but actually we are not healthy. The doctor is the one that check on our bodies and so on, and then inform us whether we are able to fast or we are not able to fast. So imagine a person goes to the doctor, and the doctor says that if you fast, there is a chance that you might pass away. So do you fast or you don't fast? In this situation, and we say that it is not permissible for us to fast, because saving our lives is more Saving our lives is more important. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not burden us with something that we do not have the ability to do. La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. Allah will not burden a soul except that what it is able to. وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَةِ. Allah said in the Quran, do not put yourself into destruction. Meaning, do not do something that can cause any your life or cause any great harm into your bodies. It is not permissible in Islam that you do something that cause harm into your bodies. So point number one, it is sickness that can lead to death. This is the meaning of sickness of tayammum. Point number two, it is a sickness that can lead to the misfunctioning of any of the body parts. Meaning, a person goes to the doctor and the doctor says that if you fast, you will be blind. For example, if you fast, you will be blind. Or if you fast, some parts of your body and you will not be able to move anymore. You're not able to function anymore. So this is what we meant. Yani a sickness that can lead to malfunction of any of the body parts. This is point number two. Point number three, it is a type of sickness that can prolong the sickness that you are having. So if you are sick and you go to the doctor, so the doctor says that if you fast, the sickness that you are suffering now, it will prolong. So if you do not fast, after 3 days you will be well. But if you fast, it will take up to 1 week. So in this particular situation, it is permissible for you to break your fast. So these are the three main definitions of sickness of tayammum. So you have to memorize this. So if a person comes to you and asks you, can I fast or cannot fast because I am sick, so ask him, what is the type of sickness that you are suffering? If the seriousness of the sickness that he is suffering is any one of the three that is mentioned, then only it is permissible for him to break his fast. But otherwise it is not permissible. So not all kinds of sickness which makes breaking of fast permissible. So we have to look at the nature of sickness. We have to look at the nature of sickness. And the one who ascertains the dangers of fasting is the Muslim doctor. I have to emphasize it. Muslim doctor. Not a non-Muslim doctor. Muslim doctor. That is why in Islam, it is compulsory upon the Muslim community to produce doctors. If the Muslim community fail to produce doctors, all of us will bear the sin. This is fardu kifayah. Learning medicine is fardu kifayah. Because this is the issue here. If your person is sick and if you got no Muslim doctor, who do you get? Got no choice. Right or not? So all of us will bear the sin. Because this is fardu kifayah. The same goes for engineering. If the Muslim community fails to produce engineers, the whole Muslim community will bear the sin. Because engineering is needed to establish any societies and build buildings and so on. The same goes for IT and so on and so forth. Every knowledge which is in need of the society to progress, it is fardu kifayah. Now, but this is just a bit of sidetrack. I need to tell you the importance of these knowledges, because you know what we are suffering now is what we Muslim community, especially in our country, we are suffering from this this misunderstanding of saying this word ukhrawi and dunyawi. A lot of people they say that learning science is dunyawi. Now they are making a big mistake. Learning science is ukhrawi, it is not dunyawi. Learning medicine is ukhrawi, it is not dunyawi. How can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make learning medicine fardu kifayah? If you say it's dunyawi, meaning what? Meaning it has got nothing to do with religion. Is that true? That is not the case. If the Muslim society is unable to produce scientists, is unable to produce engineers, is unable to produce doctors, what happens? The whole society will be sinful. So these knowledges, is it dunyawi or ukhrawi? Dunyawi or ukhrawi? Ukhrawi. I say it is ukhrawi. But how many Muslims until today have this misunderstanding? Thinking that these knowledges are dunyawi, as though that it is not important. As though that it is not important. But we say that these are knowledges which are of great importance. It is fardu kifayah about the Muslim community. Right. Now we go on and need to talk about the conditions of a valid fast. Conditions any of the valid fast. So actually it is better to say the integrals. So maybe you can cancel the word condition. You put down there the integrals of a valid fast. Because earlier I mentioned the difference between conditions and integrals. I say conditions are things that has to be performed before performing any act of ibadah. Integrals are things that you perform while you are doing that form of ibadah. Prayers, we have 13 integrals. Correct or not? That's what we mentioned earlier. So you have to memorize all 13. Compulsory, fardu ain upon every Muslim to memorize the integrals of prayers and all the conditions. Conditions of sujood, conditions of ruku, conditions of fatiha, conditions of tashahhud akhir, conditions of i'tidal, conditions of sitting and two sujood, and so on and so forth. Pertaining to ablution also we have integrals. How many integrals do we have in ablution? How many integrals? Anyone? With confidence. 4 integrals. Anyone else? I will stop anywhere the person give you the correct answer. Anyone else? How many integrals do we have in ablution? Can you just, what you call it, revision? We do not talk about ablution today because of time. But just, what you call it, to ascertain this before we go on into integrals in your fasting. 4 integrals, correct or not? Anyone disagree? Or anyone agrees? What do you think? What do we do in ablution? In ablution, then you wash your face.